Alright, old school stereo fans, this is Big D, OldSchoolStereo.com, and we've got for you today a selection of PPI Art Series amps from the early 90s. These are the Pro Mos series. We have the Pro Mos 12, the Pro Mos 25, and you would think the Pro Mos 50, but this is actually the Pro Mos 2050. Which is the earliest model out of the three here. The PPI Pro Mos series amplifiers were a direct comparison to the Orion HCCA models, and as you can tell, most head units are listed with more than 12 watts per channel, so an amp such as this is almost a joke, but in reality I have done some bench testing on it, and it is really at 4 ohms around 16 watts per channel. But these amps, all these amps, are 1 ohm stable, so you could use these in the low wattage competition classes, and you could really have an edge over the other competitors. So the real benefit here is the lower ohm loads on these amplifiers would produce much more power. So for each time that you halved the ohm load, you would double the power. So for example, the Pro Mos 2050 would do 50 watts per channel into 4 ohms. It would do 100 watts per channel into 2 ohms, and it would do 200 watts per channel into 1 ohm. These Pro Mos series by PPI were produced approximately from 1990 till about 1995, according to the research that I've done. And this, the PPI Pro Mos 2050, from what I've found, is the first of the Pro Mos series amplifiers, which came out in '90. And the Pro Mos 12, 25, and the Pro Mos 50, which I do not have, were available from 1991 until about 1995. In addition, PPI introduced the Pro Mos 425 and Pro Mos 450. Both of those were 4-channel models available from the early to the mid-90s. These connections may be familiar to you if you've seen any of my other videos with the Pro Mos 25, but these amps were pretty much no frills. They had the preamp DIN connection, which would come from PPI, like a preamp or a crossover. You'd use that DIN cable. It had a single gain control for both channels, and the left and right RCAs, and a power LED. And on the other side, we have the infamous, and I call it infamous because these are just horrible, the worst design probably ever, Molex style plug, and which would plug in here to the amplifier. I'm not going to plug this one in because I can't do it with one hand. And then you have, of course, the power and ground coming out. Okay, that's not much of a demo. It's really just an overview of the 3 amps, but I just wanted to show them to you and kind of show you the difference in size. And also the colors. You may notice that the 25 is a little different. Actually, it's because I painted the fins because it looked horrible before, so it's obvious that my color was off a little bit. But anyway, there you have it. The early 90s series PPI Pro Mos amplifiers for the competition. Can you hang? Well, let's see. We'll do a power output demo on these soon. Let's see what kind of power they can really put out. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. More videos coming soon. Big D Wiz, OldSchoolStereo.com, signing off.